Hello, I'm Mark Dietrich, a senior advisor with the EGI Foundation, a partner in the European Commission-funded Horizon Cloud project. H-Cloud was established to consider the future of cloud computing in Europe. The H-Cloud project examines obstacles to cloud adoption in Europe and proposes strategic actions to increase adoption, accelerate digital transformation, and enable the hoped-for socioeconomic and environmental benefits. Our conclusions are captured in our strategic analysis and a companion strategic research, innovation, and deployment agenda. We welcome your feedback on both documents, one-on-one or through online consultations that will happen in February 2022. You can also link from each one of these videos to an online survey where you can pick the most important recommendations. We have organized our findings and our recommendations into 7 sections, illustrated in this diagram, each with a video overview like this one. In this video, we explore the market context for cloud computing in Europe. Where does Europe actually stand in terms of the adoption of cloud computing? Official European statistics tell a complicated story. First, there are different definitions of cloud computing, ranging from lightweight to intense. Second, enterprise adoption varies significantly, as you would expect, between large and small enterprises. Third, adoption varies significantly across the 27 countries of the European Union. The EC's Digital Compass sets a target of cloud adoption by 75% of all enterprises by 2030. For the kind of cloud computing needed to enable digital transformation, this is ambitious, especially for some EU countries and for smaller enterprises. At the same time, nearly 75% of large enterprises in many countries have already adopted the cloud for significant business functions, so this target is not out of reach. There are few official statistics from other countries with which to compare, but those that exist, for example for Japan and Canada, suggest that Europe's level of adoption is comparable. Survey-based adoption figures reflect larger enterprises and also suggest that in most comparative countries, adoption rates of 50 to 70% are typical, including 68% for the United States. Once EU organizations move to cloud-style IT, this opens up a range of deployment options. How have different cloud providers performed in the EU market? And how does this market structure affect the choices available to EU organizations? While enterprise adoption in Europe is comparable to that in other parts of the world, it is clear that the cloud market is significantly bigger than the US as a percent of GDP than in Europe and many other markets. While the US economy is only 50% larger than that of the EU 27, the US public cloud market was 4 times larger than that of the EU 27 proportionally in 2020. The EU 27 public cloud market is only 3 times larger than that of the UK, while EU 27 GDP is over 5 times that of the UK. This data, plus a range of more detailed market segment trends, allows us to draw a number of important conclusions. Achieving the EU's objectives for digitalization could easily translate into increased intensity of public cloud spending in the EU 27, moving from the current 0.3% of GDP toward the 0.85% of GDP being devoted to public cloud spending in the United States. That's a factor of almost 3. If this increased level of spending follows current patterns, it will benefit US providers rather than EU-based providers, particularly in the infrastructure as a service and platform as a service market segments. However, there is an opportunity to create a level playing field that will lift all boats, giving US providers proportional access to the massive market growth that the EU needs to reach its goals. If this increased level of spending is increasingly devoted to services delivered from the edge, this creates a new market that by definition must be centered in the EU. However, supporting a new market of such size will require significant investment in new infrastructure at the edge. The worldwide diversity of the software as a service market segment represents both an opportunity and a challenge. The opportunity is for EU-based software as a service providers and independent software vendors in general to improve their ability to create value for their customers and enable the digital transformation that is needed across all sectors of the European Union economy, and thereby take a principal role in delivering on the EU's priorities. However, this segment faces a twofold challenge: competing in the fragmented EU market of 27 sovereign member states and finding capable infrastructure and platform-as-a-service partners on which to build their secure, sovereign, and sustainable services. Hopefully this overview and summary will give you a new perspective on the challenges facing cloud computing in Europe and the critical role it can play in Europe's digital future. We encourage you to take a more detailed look at our draft report, and we look forward to your feedback and comments.